Sure. Mhm. You're not dying. Shout out to all 0 of you people who are watching the stream. Lol. The first Daytona prototype league race last night. That one interesting. That was.
Won that thing, or who did good?
He did good. Real Spill won the race because he basically Austin Dillon's 2017 Coca-Cola 600 the race.
You said real spill, right? Not real steel, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I was gonna say, that's gonna be very...
I got second.
It's gonna hurt my ears. The difference.
Your team is leading the points.
My team?
Our team got the team you're on.
Oh, who? I don't even know what team I'm on because I don't even know how many races I'm gonna actually race.
Well, if you don't think you can make all of them, there's always a opportunity to run part-time.
I might, yeah, I mean, because I have the Premier Racing League before that. Then I have to commentate Alderfer's League right after that.
All right, 7:30. And action. Okay. Welcome back from the long winter break as we are anticipating what is going to be the first F1 race of 2019. We've got 8 races down to the end of the season. And last race, or in this case last year, we saw VTech do what he does best, dominate and win races, this time at his home track of France. Tonight he'll try to do the same thing at Austria. Going to be very big for him. He's won 4 of the 5 races he's entered. He's definitely going to be looking to make it 5 of the 6.
Yeah, that is for sure. Sorry, I didn't know that was a cue for me to talk there. I'm still a little, I am a bit. Yeah, VTech has been doing a really good job so far this season. Absolutely dominated. Last race was, off the top of my head, was it France? I don't quite remember. It was France, yeah. A crucial race for him as Alderfer he struggled a little bit. The rain conditions caught him out, as far as I remember. It was very tricky for him. The wet racing is not his thing, that is for sure. And I remember who else we had, some debutants as well. I think Noma Maverick did his first race, and Skeppy, or I don't think it was their first races, but they performed pretty well. And I think guys to look out for are people, the same guys. Alderfer has been really quick in practice. He's been doing a fantastic job. I don't know if Skunk VTech's going to be racing here today, but I also expect Skeppy to do pretty well. And just the same guys, every week. I don't think not much is going to change here, but this track will definitely test people's patience and precision. That is for certain.
Absolutely. So looking at the point standings battle, VTech is up by only 2 over KSI Ainscourt, also known as Alderfer, also known as EGC Alderfer Jr., which is how it's going to be now. Man, be changing gamer tags more than freaking, I don't know. What's something that changes a lot?
Trees.
His gamer tag changes a lot. Changes more than trees do. So anyways, he's sitting second, just a couple points out. He still is in pretty decent striking range. So he'll be looking to power off. As you see, everybody in the top 5 is here right now, so that's a good sign. And third, Risen Midnight, who has led the majority of the points, lost it at France due to the strong runnings of the top 2. He's still in it, but he needs to pick up the pace if he wants to be fighting for that championship for the next few weeks. Same thing for Tactical Austin. He's slowly been rising up to the occasion, showing that he is a very capable driver that can compete for podiums. But at the same time, if he wants to go for the championship, it has to start now. And fifth, Riot 2 is in his own bubble between him and the person in 6th. He's gotten better and better as the season moves along. Rain is definitely his forte, and he'll be looking to keep that up this week. Hellas here is 6th in points. He might not show up, but he's had some high points and some low points. So let's hope he has a high point this race. And in the battle for 7th, they're tied Deluxe Cord and Justin, they've showed up for a pretty similar amount of races and have gotten some pretty similar results. So we'll see which one will break the similarity and take that. In ninth, we have Sparky, who's only done 2 races. One of them was a win. The other one was a crashed up Radion. So
where he did score a point.
We'll
as you can see there, 26 points for him.
Yes, he did score a point. We'll see if he can do the forward half tonight. Dion 10th, J-Mac 11th. These two have been working together quite a bit this season. They're also the ones that generally seem to have the less time penalties. So hopefully they have clean races just as usual. 12th is Maverick. He was debut 1 of 2. Got a 2nd. Very solid for him. He'll be trying to challenge VTech for a win. And 13th, we have Lil Jupe. He's kind of been up and down this season as well, but let's just hope for the best tonight. And then 14th, Elite Spac. He hasn't showed up to all the races, and the ones he showed up to have had some pretty unfortunate finishes for him. So if he does show up tonight, let's hope he can turn it around. 15th, Mean Fern also started his first race at France, got a 5th. Strong rowing by him. And then Skeppy, man, unfortunate for him. He's had a couple bad races here and there just because of things out of his control. But I was looking at the practice session. He had the best time for a good portion of it, so watch out for him tonight. And then in a dead tie for 17th in points, you have people who have showed up for 1 race apiece. You got BDF 48 Gaming, who got a 3rd at Monaco. But
yeah, well, I was a bit lucky there.
The 3rd got encumbered. Used inappropriate ghosting, and same thing for Lucky Dog with his
I don't even know how that
6th place
happened.
finish at Australia.
Yeah, so gonna add on to what you said here. There's some like some guys like Lil Jupe. I think the Torosso guys, Deluxe Cord and Lil Jupe, they just haven't quite had the consistency. An example of that is Canada. It's first pops to my head. They were running 2nd and 3rd at one point, but then all of a sudden, just once it hit the tricky wet conditions, they just fell off the map. And those conditions are going to be obviously going to be very challenging, but their consistency is lacking in certain areas. And also, sometimes they can't make all the races, which doesn't help them either. But I think if they could become more consistent, they'll be consistently in the top 5 and could potentially be fighting for podiums if they really could. Guys like, well, actually, no, I'm not guys like, but Midnight's been falling down a little bit. He has obviously lost that points lead, and now he's in 5 points behind the lead. I mean, he's done a great job so far this season, but he hasn't put enough practice in to compete against Skunk VTech and Aldifer for victories. And bear in mind, Midnight isn't much of a qualifying expert. If anything, he doesn't qualify because he prefers to make his way through the field, so that's a difficult challenge for him. And that's all I've got to say. I'll get on to something later as we go into qualifying, but I'm going to let you take this one away.
Absolutely. So what we've seen here for qualifying, I always say qualifying doesn't matter that much. In F1 it matters a little more, but it really has had some very proportional results when it comes to the end. Just about every race this season, if you start on the front row, you automatically have a very good chance of winning the race. I think there's only been 1 race this year where somebody that actually 2, someone that did not qualify on the front row won, and that was VTech twice.
Right.
But other than those races, if you qualify either 1st or 2nd, particularly in 1st, you've got good chances to win. So qualifying might be important. It is difficult to pass, not as last year, but nevertheless, this is F1, so qualifying is going to matter. And you did note earlier, Midnight struggling. If you can't qualify up front, you have to do a lot more. And
it's raining.
Speaking of qualifying, we have some rain.
Yeah, so that's up in the air now. It's going to be an even playing field, level playing field. Sorry, I don't think I used the right terminology there, but I'm going to put my telemetry up actually and see if it's intermediate conditions, okay? So not full wets yet, but either way, I think it's very important for these guys to get out immediately to set the best time that they can, because who knows, it could get heavier from this point on. You don't even know that, and it could ruin your qualifying, your starting position, and you definitely don't want that. Either way, I mean, they have more information than we do. We don't know if it's going to get dry or not, but we're going to have to wait and see and if anyone's going to be coming out soon.
I think everyone's looking at the weather right now just to see how things will play out in the next 20 minutes or so. And yeah, this is definitely going to throw a curveball when it comes to qualifying. And now this also hints that the race might have a rain element, and those races can get very hectic very fast, and they can also spread out kind of quick. So might be a sign to try to run as good as you can. No strategy involved here with the qualifying. Skeppy, is out there first in that bright orange McLaren. He has had pretty, I would not say subpar, but unfortunate results go his way with half the things out of his control, and then just other events where it's difficult to manage. But he'll be looking to change that this week and try to get a good finish, get a second points finish of the year, and possibly go gunning for a win.
Absolutely. I mean, he is a very quick driver. He's shown that throughout the whole season. And this is the same thing in the BRL racing league, which I commentate for. It's just consistency. Once again, he's in good positions, but sometimes he doesn't get up to a good start, and sometimes he's just on a wrong strategy, and it just causes him to finish in places he really shouldn't even be in. And it's very difficult for you to see this because he's a very good driver. He's got the potential to be on the podium and be fighting for wins. So maybe today, New Year. Hate to use that meme there, but New Year, new me, I guess. Could be relevant to him. Oh my goodness, he almost crashes out of the first corner, but he might see something different from out of Skeppy here today. He might have learned a little bit over this break and try and be more consistent here at Austria.
And now he's got a handful though.
I mean, that's not a surprise though. We are in rainy conditions, not heavy rain, but it's very difficult. Around this track, see a little bit on his onboard. That first corner especially, it's so tight. You really can't use a lot of curb throughout that whole corner, and you use a bit too much on the exit and it causes him to a massive tank slapper out of there. But he kept it under control pretty well, and you see right now into the S section, super understeer for him. Another section where you have to be extremely patient with turning in. You see here, he's just isn't the best lap. He's kind of turning in a bit early, not knowing his full potential. At the moment, he does a 14.9 fastest lap at the moment because he set the first time. I'm sure those times will pop him pretty soon because it does look a little bit dry. It looks like it's starting to dry off a little bit. As Lujic now goes up to the top of the leaderboard for 14.3, so a very reasonable lap time to him compared to Skeppy's. There's Tactical Awesome in the Red Bull after I come on board with him. Into the middle section now is Alderfer. McLaren has gone 14.4, whereas Meanfer now for 13.5, a sensational lap time for the Ferrari. No, it's a Sauber driver, so I still don't know the driver team combination so far. That's pretty embarrassing. But anyway, going back before Austin, on the final corner, he's got a Ferrari ahead of him. I don't think this will really impact him. 13.1, that is P4 for him so far, so 14.9 for Austin. Marginally two thousandths ahead of Skeppy. That's pretty close between 4th and 5th. Look at that, 0.8 of a second. Pat Meanford is faster than Lilju. At a track like this where the lap times are very short, that is an insane gap between anyone in particular.
J-Mac up to 4th.
Wow, very impressive indeed. Just beat out Tactical Austin and Skeppy, and also Nomad Maverick. I don't know if Maverick was on a representative lap time there, but I think some pretty strong contenders so far. J-Mac really wasn't with it in practice in the dry. Started to struggle a little bit, but it seems like in a way he's finding his feet. He had a car off there. That's Alderfer, sorry. I almost said his name wrong again. he went off the track there for Austin again. Apex a little bit.
Second.
Austin half a second down on his lap time, as you said there. Midnight up at the second already, so a great start for the Ferrari driver. Still only about 7 tenths away from Meanfern in the Sauber, so that's still a really big gap. And also at the same time, Midnight doing a pretty good job for himself. Not like quality expert at all, but he's in a good position right now. But bear in mind, we only got about a little less than 12 minutes left in the session. We only got 2/3 of the session left, so there's plenty of time for the weather conditions to change. Who knows, maybe even dry, maybe even get a little bit wetter out of that. So I have to wait and see how this track evolves. As Midnight, a big moment there out of. No, he must have like turned it a bit too aggressively to the right and just lost his Meanfern again goes on 12.9. That is over. Oh, I think it's 1.2 seconds ahead of second place. A sensational lap from the Sauber driver. That is wet weather mastery at its finest. The Sauber driver. So he obviously knows what he's doing right now. Very quick driver. Pretty underrated in my opinion compared to the top guys. Doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. As Austin now goes up to P2 over 13.8, but that's still only 9 whole tenths slower than Meanfern. And I say this all the time. I've been saying it. Actually, that's not true. But this is the shortest track in terms of lap time. At 9 tenths, that is a massive gap to fill. And I mean, obviously, there's going to be more time to find in the rain, but I mean, that's almost unheard of on a circuit like this. It's just a fantastic start to the session by the Sauber driver.
You said wet weather power. I don't know if you said that or not, but you said something along the lines of that. We're about to see some true wet weather power in about 15 seconds when VTEC's lap time goes up, barring he doesn't pit.
Yeah, I know we got a lot of guys
right here.
Got a lot of guys going into the pits now.
Might we validate? Meanfern still.
Oh, we got a new second place driver right now. Skunk VTEC now up to second of a 13.2. Oh, he loses the back.
Austin's 2 tenths up on his turn.
He gains him about a tenth on his lap time. No change of position for him. And now he's about 8 tenths of a second back from Meanfern. But as I was saying before, Skunk VTEC now up into second place. 3 tenths, actually technically 2.5 tenths behind Meanfern in the Sauber. And that just goes to show how quick Meanfern's lap time was, at the fact that Skunk VTEC is only about 2.5 tenths behind. And the track definitely looks like it's starting. I don't know about you, but that track definitely looks like it's starting to dry up. I don't see any raindrops coming down on my screen.
Oh, I'm getting lagged though.
How so? I don't see any lag anywhere on my screen.
Oh my gosh. The Lux cord is freaking me out.
I think a lot of these guys are just... Actually, it's not.
It's the Lux, because when I go to... It might just be the Lux. Oh, we have a wreck in sector 3. No, VTEC is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, Austin's out.
Oh, Austin's out a little accident. I was on board Midnight. But Tactical is over, so that's going to be tragic for him, considering the track is drying up.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm back.
Well, you never. The track isn't dry yet. I mean, Midnight took a little break. He's still on the inters. The track still is pretty moist. And again, it's only about 8 minutes left in the session. So on these Codemasters games, that weather transition, that track transition, can be pretty quick. So Austin's going to be Austin's going to need a rabbit's foot right next to him, or a rosary, he is now. That is for certain. And Midnight's going in again. I think it could be in the track. It's starting to dry up more and more and more. So I think by the end of the session, I think dry tires are going to be the way to go.
Said he's going to need something to help him keep the thing wet. He needs the Great Lakes right now on this west in order for that to happen.
That is true. Let's see here.
Alda
There's
for up to 4th.
It's pretty good considering the track is kind of dry. I mean, I'll be honest. Even though he doesn't consider himself a wet weather racer, I would have expected him to be a bit more competitive. And again, I don't really think it's too representative. As you see him, he's still in the back end. To me, it says that the track is not working too well with his tires, maybe. So he's quite a ways away behind Meanfern. And, you know, I personally believe Meanfern is a little bit of a quicker driver, but still, that's a second gap there between the two. I think, you know, that's not ideal for the McLaren driver at all.
'49er, thanks for the host. Appreciate it. So,
at this point, I think it's all going to be down to like when. And I'm trying to look at the tires too. There's still some moisture bouncing off of out of his side. I think he proves the 3rd place actually. So Austin's down a place. So here's that Nomad Maverick now from the P5 and 14 dead.
5th.
But Skunk VTech is out and he's still in the inters actually. Skunk's on his outlap on the inters. So not quite ready for the dry tires yet.
So, I'm getting word from our DNF driver that he is very upset because apparently a glitch knocked him out. I would read you the message, but there is some
language
boiling.
Okay.
Sounds like me playing 2K. Anyways, VTech on his lap. With 5.5 minutes left in the session. He's gotten up front a lot in qualifying, but he's also started towards the back in a few of these. And he's been able to win from both positions. So, I don't know if he's got to be too worried about qualifying, especially since he's going to have 30-something laps to make it up.
Just trying to watch. Oh my goodness, VTech is drifting all over the place right now. I don't know if you saw him through that corner, but he was doing Ken Block rally drifting through that corner. Look at him, still he is driving like Gio Villeneuve right now. It's insane watching him drive. I think the track is. I don't even know really if I'm a driver out there. It's so hard to look on the track. This is like, at this point, this is a really difficult stage for these drivers. As VTech goes in the pits, rightly so. I think it's getting pretty close to dry tires at this point, even if it's not up to full condition. I think the dry tires may be a bit quicker.
We have Meanfern and Riot 2 on the approach to soft tires, and DRS has been enabled. So there you go. There's the cue.
That's the
With
cue.
about 4 minutes left, you see everybody starting to change their tire compound, and now we have a battle. It's going to be between Ultras and Supers. And maybe in this game, Supers might have the advantage because if I am not mistaken, generally harder compounds do better when the conditions are more damp.
Well, that is true. That's a pretty true statement there. The harder tires tend to work better in cooler conditions. And also, gotta look at the big picture too. The race. The Ultras, no matter where you go, maybe except Monaco or maybe the street circuits, but the Ultra Softs, they really are junk. They're just a qualifying tire. It would be beneficial for Q1 and Q2 if we had a full qualifying, but a track like this, the tire wear is just the surface. It doesn't really bode well, and I think if I were any of these guys, I'll be on a super soft just to have a longer first fit and have a little bit more leeway. Try and get that potential one stop if possible. If you're using Ultra Softs, I think you're only got one opportunity, and that's to do the 2-stopper.
You see, it looks pretty split when it comes to tire choice. Right now we got 4 on the Supers, and we got 3 on the Ultras, and then we have the other 5, not including Austin, on the intermediates. Oh, Riot 2. Oh. Yeah, he's aborting the lap.
One of those guys on Supers is Midnight. He's on his outlap, actually. He's not on the lap. see if Maverick's got the ultras on. This is going to be a very interesting qualifying system to see who's going to stack up where. Oliver won on the Super Softs as he's starting his lap right now. Let's go on board with him. ERS wide open mode for ERS up to 8th gear. Races a little bit before the 100-meter board as a result of the damper conditions. It was pretty slow to that corner. He probably could carry a bit more speed, but then again, I'm not the driver on track right now. Here we have 3 DRS zones on this track, so that's the second one of the lap, if I'm mistaken. 3rd gear. The right-hander, make sure to be careful with the throttle on the exit as we're heading to the very fast and flowing section. 4th gear for this left-hander. Don't go out too wide. There's some yellow lumber strips that can catch you out and ruin your lap entirely. I cannot say that word for my life. The S section. The end of second 2 right now. Taking it pretty tentatively. Doesn't really want to make too many mistakes on his lap. Could be his one shot. 5th gear. Holds it out. Down to 3rd gear momentarily still. I don't even... He is struggling a little bit for grip. Up to the line. Ends at 10.5. Now we're going to have to wait and see where everyone else stacks up. Meanfern also on the Supers, so this will be a great comparison between the two.
Skeppy to pole.
Skeppy to pole on the ultra soft tires. But bear in mind, those are the quicker tires. Meanfern racing towards the line right now. That's going to be a 10.3, actually 10.299. So he's almost 3/10 faster than Alderfer, so that really wasn't a bad lap at all. But if I were these guys, I keep going. The track's getting drier and drier every second. Those seconds can mean everything on track. And on board of Skunk Beat-Tech right now, he's on the lap. Right, you have the P2 now on the Ultra Soft. Look at the gap between the Ultra Soft and the Super Soft runners. That is almost half a second difference in lap time. On board with Skunk Beat-Tech right now, the Mercedes driver, the points leader. And there goes Midnight actually up to 3rd place, the fastest Super Soft runner so far. Typically not a qualifying expert, but he's doing a good job so far.
Oh, Maverick goes wide. That might be his final foul out of qualifying.
The same for him, but we're going to keep on board of Skunk Beat-Tech. Goes away to knock the line you wanted to be taking. Let's get your tires. Meanfern, there you go. That's a perfect example of how this track changes. At 8.9 on these super soft compound tires.
From VTEC.
Deluxe
fourth to second.
And Skunk Beat-Tech takes pole. By 5.5 tenths of a second, Skunk Beat-Tech, the championship points leader. On provisional pole.
Still got plenty of people coming in now. Shoot to pole!
Toro Rosso driver up the pole right now. Toro Rosso in 4th at the moment. I think Alderfer is still on a lap though. I don't know how accurate the delta was. It was a little bit off here or there. He carries the penultimate corner way more speed, same as the final one. Racing towards one right now, and it's surely it is.
He gets the pole!
A 7.7
right
on
at the end.
super soft compound tires.
That's gonna be it.
That is qualifying over.
Oh my god.
That was the qualifying of the year, if I had to say it. That had everything on the table. Wow. I don't know about you, that was pretty great. That was... Oh, yeah. I was kind of hoping that would happen, but I wasn't sure it would. I just didn't know how fast the track was going to evolve, but it evolved a lot.
You guys saw Skeppy. Looked like he set a flyer. He actually ends up qualifying 6th, and Midnight, unfortunately, back in 8th. A lot of these guys, but ninth on back, did not decide to run a lap, but gotta feel out for Maverick.
Austin had no choice on what he could do.
Because he had a good time. He's going to qualify 10th.
There you go. There's your qualifying results for the Austrian Grand Prix. Alderfer in 1st place on pole. Trying to think off the top of my head how many poles that is. That may be his 3rd pole of the season. With Lil Jupe, his 1st front row start of the season in 2nd place, about half a second behind in the Toro Rosso driver.
2nd pole for Alderfer. His only one was actually Australia, so it's taken him the rest of the season, but clear skies out here for the race. That's going to allow the guys further back to really try to play with their strategy. But this should be an interesting one. A long race, lap-wise, but the lap times are fast. I think this is the fastest track when it comes to lap times. This one, Brazil and Monaco are the shorter ones, along with Germany. We go to all 4 of them this season, ironically.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But it's gonna be very.
I'm
gonna say I think it'd be very interesting to see how Lil Jupe will go off the start, because he is on the ultras. Those tires are gonna degrade more, and they're gonna be absolute junk in it probably after, like, I don't know, maybe 6 laps or so. My prediction, at least. So it'll be interesting to see if he holds up the field. If Alderfer could get a really good start, he's in a really good position to extend that gap away.
Here we go. The 5 red lights are about to be out. There they go. The race is underway. They storm into turn 1. Good start by Alderfer. It's about to be a scuffle for 3rd
Oh
on
my
back.
goodness, that is
Deluxe
a
score
scuffle.
goes wide. Trouble in the back. Everyone seems to be clean for now as they survive turn 1, but now turn 2. Another huge problem. Deluxe to the core to the inside. He's going to do double overtake. Makes contact with VTech. 4 wide for 3rd. And Skeppy is going to come out of that with the biggest plus ever seen. Now we got a 4-car scuffle for 6th. They're about to go 3 wide into this turn.
There goes
These guys are going at it early. Austin tries to dive bomb, and he goes wide. He's into the grass. Craziness on the opening lap. These guys are fighting for 8th still and towards the back. But Alderfer gets out to a good jump.
You think these guys would be racing on the final lap of how they were racing, but that was the first lap of the race. That's probably the most aggressive first lap I've seen probably since the start of the season. That was amazing stuff. It's Austin almost hits the back of Maverick in P9, but there you go. It is Alderfer in P1, Lil Jupe in P2, Skunk VTech now in P3, getting that position back from Skeppy. Skeppy now up to 4th, and great stuff for him. Meanfern all the way down to 5th Deluxe score after that massive dive bomb, or rather unnecessary dive bomb. P6 right 2 and 7 as I didn't see what you're talking about here. Side by side between Meanfern and Skeppy. I think Skeppy could have some damage. Yeah, he does have some damage on that one. Let me compare. Does he actually? No damage on the left front. I can imagine from that.
Inside. Oh, we have a wreck for 8th. Austin and Ryan going off. One of the championship front runners has spun out in the opening laps.
Oh my
here
goodness.
In Austria.
What a horrible.
Skeppy's gonna get it.
What a horrible day it's been for Tactical Austin. The qualifying session and now this. I mean, I can't even imagine what's going on through his mind right now. And there goes fast lap of the race. 7.8. That qualifying time. That just goes to show. Oh my goodness, the score goes very wide now. And he's out. He's out of the race.
Already. Midnight has to barely dodge him, but he's able to do it. Quick reactions by him makes it work. VTech is going to go by Jupe.
And it's on now. Whoa, Jupe's right in the slipstream. Can he make a move on the outside? Might be able to pull it off.